You guys there? This week, it's all about students. Let's go.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Beautiful day here in Phoenix. Got the doors open. It's really cold in the morning, and then in the afternoon it gets hot, and so it's hard to manage all this. You don't want to hear me complaining about the weather. What I'm really excited about this week is that I get to talk to students. Out of all the things that I do for work, getting up in front of us on a stage in front of students is my favorite thing to do. And it makes me the most nervous because, they're students and it's hard to keep their attention. So I get nervous about that all of a sudden I'll be in the middle stage and I look down, everyone's looking at their phones. But I get to talk to students, especially students who are growing up the way I grew up. I get to talk to those students this week. Twice. Get to do it twice. I remember many months where we didn't have enough to eat. One of the things I remember doing all the time was going to the church and getting food from the church. I saw education as my way to not repeat that cycle. And so that's what I focused on. And so I get to go stand on a stage in front of these students, many who are growing up under the same kind of circumstances. And I get to say to them, look at me, look what I've done. If I can do this, you can do this. I believe there are millions of kids who are just like me growing up in those environments, and we're missing out on some huge potential. I'm sure that they get to hear all the time other adults in their life, whether it's other speakers, other events, teachers, administrators, sports stars, they get to hear, look, work hard, get your education, and you can accomplish anything, right? And one of the things I'm gonna get to talk to them about is that who they are and where they come from is competitive advantage. That they shouldn't hide who they are. They shouldn't be ashamed of where they come from. You learn at an early age that most adults equate low income with low ability. Your family's not doing well because you're lazy, because you're not motivated. And so we hide who we are and where we come from. I'm gonna tell them not to do that. I'm gonna tell them to own who they are and where they come from. Their experiences are gonna be competitive advantage, that they're going to be able to do things that no one else was able to do. That's what we're gonna be doing this week, twice. So let's go. So I had a pretty amazing morning. I was at a meeting with a friend that I've known for a long time. He had bought my book that he read with his daughter, this book that I wrote, and he wanted me to sign it. So I went to go meet with him to sign his book and give him some advice on some of the ideas that he had and things that he's working on. So when I was in the coffee shop getting my coffee, I ran into another person. She stopped me, she says, Jamie, you and I met a year ago and I had coffee with her. She wanted to sit down and talk about her career and what she should be doing. And at the time she was having trouble with trying to find what to do next. She wanted to figure out what to do next. And I told her to sit down, write out exactly the problem that she wanted to solve and how did she want to solve it, and to write a role and responsibilities to present to her boss and say, this is what I think the role should be, and I think this would have the most value to the work that we're doing. So she did that, and her boss said, yep, let's do that. She's been doing that role for like the last 6 months, and she just wanted to thank me, and I asked her if she would sit with me in front of a camera one day to talk about that experience so that we can help other people in the same situation. So we're gonna do that, and I just want to share that. So that was my morning, pretty good. All right, back to work. On my way to talk to the high school students, and my car is frozen.
Wanna shake that ground, wanna break away, let loose. I'm tired of waiting, gotta make that move.
So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and introduce our keynote, Mr. Jaime Cassatt. I'll let him talk about being an educational evangelist.
How you guys doing? So any chance that I get to come talk to students in Phoenix, in Arizona, I'm in. So I've been looking forward to this for quite some time. So the reason I get to talk to you guys, the reason I spent 13 years at Google, and the reason I spent 7 years at Accenture, the reason why I've been able to do the things that I do is because of education. But I show you this picture because that's what the hard work is about, that you can take a street kid hoodlum from Hell's Kitchen, New York, and put him in the East Room of the White House to talk in front of the President and the First Lady. You all have access to the same information. Having information and memorizing things is not going to get you anywhere. It's what you do with that information and how you take that information and build intelligence out of it. How many of you have heard, like, get your education and work hard speeches before? As a Latino kid who grew up in Hell's Kitchen, who grew up poor, I hid that for a lot of my life. I kept that a secret because I didn't realize that at the time that people tend to equate low income with low ability. We tend to equate people are poor because they're lazy, because they don't work hard enough. And so we hide that part of our lives. It wasn't until I was in my early 20s where I'm like, no, that's not gonna work for me. And I realized then, and I don't want you to wait till you're in your 20s to realize this, that who you are and where you come from is actually competitive advantage. Like your experiences, your point of view, the things that you've seen, all those things are competitive advantage. All right, thank you guys. Well, that was fun. Got to talk to students. I was looking out in the audience and none of the students had their phones out. And I found that standing there going, they take their phones away from these kids so that they can pay attention? And then I found out that no, they didn't take their phones away. They were just actually listening. So I was really excited by that I had their attention and that they were actually listening. That always makes it much more fun. All right, let's go home. Here we go again. I'm gonna go talk to students. Really excited about this one.
Won't let go, so let us be crazy before we are cold. You can take us out, your doubts won't hold us down.
Education, technology, innovation, and Generation Z at events around the world. I would like to welcome Jamie Cassett to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. You guys have your whole life in front of you, and you are at a point where you can do anything. Thank you guys very much for having me.
Gonna keep running, grab the fun and live it live. And tomorrow's
So the second event with the Native American students in Arizona went really well. Really excited by the connections I made there. Really excited about other things that we're gonna do in the future. I'm done. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Anyway, that's it for this video. Got to talk to students. Hopefully you can join us on the next one. See you next time. Subscribe, click the buttons, do all the things you need to know. You know what to do. Bye. All right, bye guys.
Whatever you do,
Yeah.
talk nicely.
Whatever I do, talk nicely. Okay, I will.